Yes, good people, welcome back to the Guitar Manifesto channel, and today we are doing a bit of work on this stunning looking Squier Jazzmaster. This is a 40th Anniversary Gold Edition, finished in another shade of Lake Placid Blue, pretty much the same shade that was on my latest competition Mustang, but she is proper blinged out. She's got the gold hardware. We got the big block inlays with binding around the neck, which looks pretty darn sweet. Gold pick guard. You got Fender designed Alnico pickups, which sound pretty awesome, and obviously all the gold hardware. But it needs a good setup. There's a few little things that I've noticed with it, and I was having a quick jam this morning, and the high E string was sounding a bit funky high up, and then it snapped. So something weren't right with that. I've also noticed that all the hardware should be gold, including the screws. Some are gold, some are chrome. This little nut that goes around the freeway control switch, that should be gold as well, but it's not. And yeah, it's something a little bit suspect going on with it. And with the output jack as well, that should be gold. That's finger tight. So somebody's been having a little play around with this. It didn't come with a gold wiggle stick either, but I do have one. This has been fitted with 10 gauge strings on a 25.5 inch scale. I personally prefer 9s, as does my arthritic ridden hand. So I've got some super slinkies, 9 to 42 strings, so we're going to fit them. I bought these off eBay. These are dirt cheap at the minute, so they're possibly fakes, I don't know. There is quite a few knocking around, but we're going to put them on, give her a little bit of a clean up. She's got an Indian roll fingerboard which looks pretty bone dry, so we'll lube that up a bit and yeah, give it a bit of a setup. I'm going to have another jam with Danny tomorrow. I was going to take the red Squier Jazzmaster, but I wouldn't mind actually trying this out. So let's get this all up and running, ready for a jam with Danny tomorrow. Right, first job, we're going to remove the strings. Now these have got the vintage style split shaft tuners, so you don't even need to cut the strings, you just slacken them off a bit and then they pop out of the tuner. And you're going to keep them, so not too worried about them. But yeah, with 10s on this, it's just a bit too heavy for my hands. Especially when you're playing lead work with them narrow tool frets. It takes a lot of pressure on your fingers to push down, and when you got ailments like I have, that's not fun. So once I get these strings off, I want to also have a look under that pick guard, because stuff's been messed around with under there, and I want to see if they've done anything underneath. That's the thing with guitars. I know this is a 2021 made. I think these come out in what, 2022 for the 40th anniversary, so this is a couple of years old, so who knows what's happened. It's definitely been played, you can feel it under the strings. Yeah, don't look like there's much in the way of fret wear at all, so that's pretty good. There is a bit of wearing off the gold hardware on the saddles and around the tuners. Somebody's definitely used this. It may be somebody with real sweaty fingers, so yeah, definitely want to give this a bit of a clean up. So I'm just going to finish getting these strings off and then we'll have a look under that pick guard. So if you're one of those people who don't like electric tools around guitars, look away now. For the rest of us, don't worry about it. Okay, so after taking a few of these screws out, the ones that look silver aren't actually gold on the underside, so the gold plating from Squier is pretty naff. Okay, I'm going to carry on anyway. Yeah, that one was like, you can see that's pure silver on the underside. There is some gold in there. It's just weird how only certain ones have done it, especially over there, because it's not as if, you know, maybe when whoever had it, like I say, might have had real sweaty hands, acidic sweat, and yeah, maybe it's took it off. But one more to go. now. Like I say, it's a bit curious just to make sure nothing's been messed around with under here. And yeah, that all looks as it should. It's got the small little, it's actually quite hard, there you go, to lift it up. I've done it, but yeah, it's got the small little pots, and don't need shielding because it's a aluminium guard, but there's still a little bit of shielding of some sort under there. Yeah, the wiring's a bit of a mess. It's got the small little caps, but no, I'm quite happy that that is original under there. But I need to tidy up that wiring a little bit. Right, so I got the pick guard back on. I'm going to start working on the neck now. Like I say, there is a little bit of fret wear, nothing major. So what I'm going to do is go with a light fine sanding sponge just to take the top layer of grime off the top of them frets. There's no sharp frets on this. It does feel pretty good. But if you do get sharp frets, you can use these sponges at a 45-degree angle and just rub them down. You'll feel it bite in, and then before you know it, the frets are nicely smoothed off and you've got a rounded edge on your fingerboard. So yeah, there's a lot of oxidization on these frets, so I'm thinking it was somebody with a bit of a sweating issue that had this, because it's just a bit strange for a guitar that's only a couple of years old. Right, that's that done. Again, we're not taking any material off the actual frets themselves, it's just taking off the actual oxidization on the top. Right, lemon oil. Let's put some nourishment back into this fingerboard. Might take a couple of coats. The actual fingerboard itself don't look dirty, it's just dried out. Just a strange one. May have been stored somewhere that was quite damp. That could have resulted in what we got there with a gold coating coming off. Maybe had sun on it at a funny angle. I don't know. Weird one. Yeah, that's looking better already. Thing is, with these Indian laurel fingerboards, they really dry out. I've had quite a few of these now over the last, what, 5 years or so, 5 or 6 years since they come out on Squiers, and yeah, they don't half dry out compared to rosewood. Right, we're going to let that soak in for a little bit, and while we're doing that, I'll start cleaning up the body and the headstock. May need to, like I say, stick a couple of coats on that, but that'll do for now. Let that work in. And today we're using the Gibson guitar polish. Covers are rattling a bit underneath the little workbench. But not sure what I'm doing with this guitar yet, whether I'm going to keep it or not, or whether I'm going to part it out and nick the neck for my Robser Jazzmaster. Not entirely sure. But if I do keep this, I'm not sure I'm sold on the gold, you know. Yeah, look at that, how much that's stained. Yeah, it's not dirt. Could be residue from the glue. And it was new because they normally put a protective film on the tremolos. but so far it's not cleaning up too good. Yeah, it's getting better. Must be the glue left over. We'll roll with that anyway because it makes it look like it's got a bit of patina, which is cool with me. Let's buff off the paintwork. Now the paint finish on this is a bit blotchy in places, unlike the Mustang I had recently. There is a bit of hazing here and there. Clearly this didn't get a good polish at the factory. And Guitar Technician was on about this on a guitar recently. Now this no doubt is an early run, so they probably rushed them out. Yeah, I can see the hazing around there and around there. Just a little bit more of a buff with a cutting compound will definitely bring that back up. In terms of the gold bling, that's about as good as we're going to get with that. Excuse the drilling noises. There's a builder a couple of doors down, one of my neighbours, having a bit of plumbing done. Oh, matron. Now, unlike the classic vibes, which have a gloss vintage tint, these have just got a gloss finish over bare maple. Alright, so I think I'm going to give the fingerboard another coat. While we're letting that soak in, it's going to clean the back up. Now, one pretty cool feature on these 40th anniversary models is the neck plate on the back there, which is engraved with Squier 1982 to 2022 40th anniversary in gold. That's pretty cool. Right, so that's the fingerboard all cleaned up and nourished, looking a little bit slicker now. I've just put some electrical tape around the pole pieces on the bridge because that's what I like to do. I don't like the vibrato floating, I like it locked into place. Now, before all the smart asses come chiming in and saying they're designed to move backwards and forwards, I prefer it this way because it helps with tuning no end. And in terms of using a wiggle stick, it doesn't really make much difference. If anything, it keeps everything a little bit tauter and in tune. Right, so now all that's done, just want to check how straight the neck is with the straight edge. And there's a little bit of a bow in it, nothing too major. Just a little bit in the middle, so yeah, we'll live with that. But yeah, we'll go with as it is, put the strings on, check the action. If we need to tweak it a bit, then I'll sort it out, but I'm quite happy with that. So I'm gonna put the super slinkies on now, and then we'll start setting her up. Okay, so we got her all strung up. I'm just stretching out the strings now, and you want to keep stretching these until you tune them back up. You stretch them and then they hold tune. May take a little while. I think that one's done, but yeah, I'm going to go through all 6 of them. I did just check the neck relief and it all seems pretty darn good. In terms of string height, we are 2.25 on the low E and 1.75 on the high E. So I want to go 1.5 on the low E, 1.25 on the high E, and we should be there. So yeah, just going to stretch these strings out and then we'll adjust that action after that. Right, it's time to check the action, and I use one of these string action rulers. You can pick these up on eBay or Amazon for not a lot of money at all. So to adjust the bridge on these, there's a screw either side, and yeah, we need to go down a bit. So once we set the end strings, this is a radius bridge set to 9.5 inch radius along with a fingerboard. Yeah, once you do the end strings, all the ones in the middle should follow suit. Okay, so in between each adjustment, let's make sure you tune the guitar back up. Oh, it fucking snaps again. Okay, high E string snapped again. It sounded a bit funky. So something is going on with that bridge. I'm not sure what. I very rarely have strings snap, and that's 2 today on this high E. It did feel a little funky when I went to bend it, so I'm thinking the slot on that last saddle there is not how it should be. Oh, there's something going on with the vibrato. But something ain't right there at all. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, that feels okay in there. Something's definitely going on with that. Unless the nut's not. Let me see where that string went. See if I can find that string and then I'll see where it snapped. Okay, found the string and it snapped on the bridge end for whatever reason. I'm not sure what, maybe it's a bit sharp in there, so I'm going to file that down a bit and then have another go. Damn. Okay, so I've been using a little nut slot file. The saddle feels a little bit rough. I wonder if it was binding on that a bit. I did also file around a little tail piece on the vibrato where the ball of the strings sits. That don't feel too bad, but that definitely felt a little gnarly. But we'll see how that goes. I'm going to stick another string on. Damn. Right, give it another go. Okay, so several strings later, we're still having the same problem. I even took the string tree off, I folded the nut down, and we're definitely having issues on this bridge. Because when you try and bend up, it bends out. Something is funky with that. Right, I do have another bridge to try, but I think this might be, is it 9.5 inch? Yeah, I think that's 9.5 inch, so I'm going to quickly drop that in and see if that sorts our issue out. But that is a pain in the backside, because I've wasted like 2 9 strings and then I've gone with an 11 on the at one of them packs, and yeah, I think we're getting there. Right, just gonna slacken this off and get that bridge out and try again. And I also scratched the back of that bloody bridge while I was filing the hole on there, but hey ho, whatever. Well, that was a bit of a mission. We got the bridge on now, the one off the that was out my stash. It's a 7.25 inch radius, so it's not ideal for this neck because this is 9.5 inch radius, but that one is real funky. But this will do for now, save me snapping any more strings. But what I did notice is they kind of like sprout off to the side, the saddles. Yeah, something's not quite right with that, so I think the gold one is going to go in the bin, and I need to get another one of them style bridges. Just a normal classic vibe one will do, as long as it's got the 9.5 inch radius barrels. Yeah, that'll be good enough, but that one is junk. So yeah, I've kind of set it up. Is what it is for now. I've got the action where I like it. I did have to tweak the neck relief a little bit because it bowed in quite a bit actually after I put the strings on, so I straightened it out a little bit more. So we've got a 0.3 mm neck relief on the 8th fret, and yeah, set the action, intonation. I'm going to mess around because this is coming off soon anyway. So in terms of the pickup heights, we're going to roll with as is, and I need to put that string tree back on, give her a little tune up, and then we'll plug her into the workshop amp and yeah, see what it sounds like. Okie dokie, so we've got it plugged into the workshop amp. We've got a bit of reverb and tremolo. So neck. Both pickups. Bridge. I quite like the middle, so it's gonna have a little jam playing with both them pickups together. Okay, so we've got it back up and running. Not an ideal situation with the bridge, and we've got two 11 gauge strings on there, but you know, we got to work out what's going wrong with it. But we definitely need to buy a new bridge for that, and I don't think I'm going to be taking this one tomorrow. I'm going to go with the red Jazzmaster. Also, this bone nut on the E string, it doesn't ring completely clean, so that nut definitely needs filing out a little bit more. But apart from that, yeah, this is not one of the best Squiers I've had, but you know, I don't make out that they're all rosy and good. I have had some bad ones before and I've pointed it out, but this, like I say, the QC on this one ain't the best either. The paintwork is a bit hazy, and yeah, I think this was part of the early run, the first issue, and they rushed them out. So yeah, I hope you learned something today on how not to set up a Squier Jazzmaster. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, the Guitar Manifesto, and I'll catch you all soon. Thanks for watching. Peace.